And while alarm bells are ringing across European capitals as President Trump's return to power reshapes the geopolitical landscape, with Ukraine's fate hanging in the balance and NATO's foundations shaking, Europe confronts its darkest challenge since World War II. The question isn't just whether Europe can resist Trump, it's whether it can survive without America. And our next report gives you more details.
A dozen leaders from Europe and Canada are in Ukraine's capital. They have gathered to mark the third anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Reeling from one shock statement after another from the Trump administration, European governments are trying to show they are united in their support for Ukraine.
Putin is trying harder than ever to win the war on the ground. His goal remains Ukraine's capitulation, and we know what could happen next, because it has already happened before. It is not only the destiny of Ukraine that is at stake, it is Europe's destiny that is at stake.
Russia's strategic target is Europe, European way of life, and therefore its security. European destiny cannot be defined without Europe. Ukraine, Europe together with the United States, must be at the table for talks in front of Russia so that need for peace is not talked down again by promises of normalization, reboot or compromise.
But beyond the bravado, it all boils down to hard power. The big question, can NATO stand alone and face Moscow without Washington's support? The reality of Europe's defense capabilities tell a more complex story. According to estimates, in order to effectively deter Russian aggression independently, Europe would need to mobilize approximately 300,000 additional troops and increase defense spending by at least $240 billion annually. They would need over 1,400 new main battle tanks and 2,000 infantry fighting vehicles, surpassing the current combined inventories of major European military powers. The challenge extends beyond mere numbers. Where will the billions come from? Who would coordinate? Who would take the lead? There are deep divisions within the European continent. European leaders are scrambling to respond. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer and EU Foreign Policy Chief would be rushing to Washington separately. They are aiming to dissuade Donald Trump from finalizing a hasty ceasefire with Russia's President Vladimir Putin that could potentially jeopardize European security interests.
No deal without this can work. So that is very clear. You can discuss whatever you want with Putin, but if it comes to Europe or Ukraine, then Ukraine and Europe also have to agree to this deal, and that's why we need to be discussed whatever there is.
The urgency is palpable. As the US and Russia forge ahead with peace talks that exclude key European stakeholders, the continent must decide whether it can stand up to Trump and assert its strategic autonomy. The decisions made in the coming days will have profound implications for Europe's security architecture and its role on the global stage. Bureau Report, WION World is One.